Hello, and welcome back to Nadya's Identity Files.
Yeah.
I have with me, last but definitely not least, the pint-sized and the gorgeous Brenna Ray. Thank you for being with us today.
Hola, how are you?
I am fantastic. We were just talking about observing some people out on Hollywood Boulevard. I was telling her the pigeon story. If you didn't tune in, like earlier, there was a man with a pigeon knocking on the window, but I'm not going to go into that. That's too much of a sidebar. So I'm just so excited about today's segment. Like, you and my other two guests just have so much to talk about with regard to identity and chronic illnesses and conditions, something that I feel is not discussed enough. So, I mean, obviously you do a whole lot. Like,
yes.
I'm pretty sure, like, when I introed you, I left out a few things. You're a songwriter, a guitarist, an actor, a model, and you're a fashion designer, too, right?
I am an entertainer.
She is an entertainer.
I think that kind of covers
it's
all
like,
the
let's just
bases.
use, like, that umbrella. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is full-scope entertainer, but you also have lived with a lifelong condition, epilepsy.
Yes.
Can you talk about how this condition has shaped your identity as an entertainer?
So, I get your questions, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how am I thought I was going to have, like, the super easy come in and be able to, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't have an answer for this. And it took me a minute to realize the actual answer, which is that I never realized how much my epilepsy had shaped the way that I went after the world. It was only after your question that I realized it, which is super fucking wonderful.
I feel really honored right now.
Because I went through, like, this whole epiphany. I was sitting on my lunch break, and I'm, like, answering the question to myself, and I realized that the way that I go after life and the way that I do things is literally shaped by the fact that my illness oftentimes takes memory or takes certain things that I can't remember. And so I live my life very on the edge. I go after everything, and it's always just been something to overcome. So I never viewed myself as actually having an illness or having a disease or having something, but more of, oh, okay, so my way to the top of this mountain is going to be different than your way, and I'm going to find my way to the top.
Yeah.
So it was, like, really interesting to sit there and dissect what you were asking, because it really brought attention to something I've never asked myself.
Yeah. And,
Which
you know, a
is
lot of
super
times
cool.
we don't give ourselves the opportunity to do that because it's like we're so busy. And, again, like, this is not something that is thought about enough or discussed enough. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Well, it made me realize, I'm like, holy cow, the way that I've lived my life has literally been shaped by this without me even consciously being aware. So, like, me going after and doing everything, like, just trying to prove a point that you can do anything that you want as long as you get yourself out of the way. Like,
Right.
accepting that, okay, it's going to be harder, or accepting that I'm going to have a seizure on set and I can't do anything about it. But this is me, and overcoming that, like, it really made me think. And so I really appreciated that you sent me these questions, because I have never looked at it like this before.
Just imagining you on your phone, like,
Oh, yeah.
wait.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like, what? Wait. And then I kept on writing more, and I'm like, so deep and into it. So it was amazing. I have to really
wonderful.
thank you for this, because
Of course.
it literally...
Thank you again for so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. But yeah, there's a bus of people
I was about to
coming
say there's a
out,
bus.
and we're looking at all the people.
I'm such a bad people watcher.
Oh, so am I.
Like, I'm so addicted to people watching.
am
It's
I.
terrible,
So,
but
yeah.
so grand. So, I mean, you mentioned memory and language. Obviously, epilepsy, those are two areas that epilepsy can really impact, memory and language. I mean, two areas that are so important in your career as a songwriter and an actor, and really all facets of the entertainment industry. So how have you coped with these impacts?
So memory loss is probably my biggest, like, thing that I'm having to really accept right now, is that, like, I don't remember people's names and faces as much as I'd like, but I can remember anything that's, like, written for me. It's, like, really weird, right? So I discovered that what it did do was affect the way that I viewed time in life, which was, there is no timeline. Everything is fluid. I don't care how long it takes me, as long as I accomplish it, because I have no concept of time. Like, even when we were trying to figure out how long we've known each other, I was like,
Right.
we've just known each other forever. Like, it's just very fluid for me. So, like, I set deadlines, but my deadlines are different, because I'm like, I have all the time in the world, because I'm going to live every day like I don't have enough time in the world. So
Wow.
it really affected how I go after things, which is, like, what I was saying about your questions stemmed this deeper understanding of why I am who I am.
Right.
Which is like, it made total sense.
It's true. I mean, time, for all of us, time, we are on a continuum. Like, time is a construct.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many things in society, including the identities that we all too often allow society to place us into. But it's all, fluidity is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But, having a condition like epilepsy, it probably enhances that
Yeah.
feeling much more than someone who, doesn't experience that condition.
Yeah, it changed my perception of what constructs are and made me realize that every person really sees things as their own reality. And then it made me appreciate every person's perspective and reality more, because every person's on their own journey, and they're all going to climb that mountain differently, and that's one of the most beautiful things about identity. And so I fell in love with the questions. I'm sitting there for hours like, this is deep, bro. This is deep.
This is really, she's going there. This girl is going in.
Yeah.
You better believe it. That's what Nadya's Identity Files is all about, digging deep.
Digging deep. And what do we find?
What are we finding?
Treasures underneath.
Hey.
Of all different
There's
kinds.
like busting out in song. There's still a bus. Like, we have like the humming of the bus in the background to back us up as well.
Perfect.
So, you just mentioned some really great things about like the memory and time. Don't you have a music project that you're working on that's kind of highlighting these issues?
100% highlighting these issues. It's called Momentary Fascination, which is the idea that we all live in a life where we have moments and ideas and beautiful, wonderful things, and they're all these, we create them to be what we want them to be, and then at times we actually see them for what they are. And it's a beautiful transcendence, and so my music and the journey onto that and the album that I'm currently creating is all very much delving into that concept.
Wow.
So, yeah. Acceptance, and also realizing that it's okay to live in your own reality, but also understanding that not everybody else is going to see it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's super fun.
So being in touch with the external reality, the macro reality, so to speak.
Yep.
While at the same time being very in tune with your internal reality.
And accepting
both.
Which is hard.
In tandem, which is very difficult.
Super hard. Yeah. So that's what I'm delving into.
Yeah, wow. Can you talk about some times maybe on set or other instances where you really felt like this condition kind of turned things around for you?
Well, for years I didn't want to tell anybody that I had epilepsy. Like, I felt like it was a hindrance to like be on set. I felt like I wasn't a commodity. I was more of like, you had to watch me, like, in case something happened. So for years I kept it under secret. And then I had a seizure on set. And that was like, and nobody knew, and they all freaked out, and they were all really nice about it, but at the same time it was like, okay, I have to accept that I have this. And that took years.
Yeah.
And I finally have just completely accepted it, and then it was like, your show came at such an opportune time, because this really allowed me to not only accept it, but go past it and really understand how it has affected me. And so thank you, Nadya, for having me on your Identity Files.
Oh, for sure.
This has been fantastic.
This is a very important file of identity. This is an identity file.
I'm a whole entire issue. It's not even a file. You could subscribe to the whole entire
thing. Totally. Can you talk maybe a little bit more about the music project, where we can find it?
Yeah.
Where we can find other important creative projects that you're working on outside of that?
Sure. So, hi, my name's Brenna Ray. You can find me on Instagram at the Brenna Ray, Ray, RHEA, and right now it's currently just really working on the music, because I'm playing guitar. Like, I just picked this up a year ago, and I'm like going to be playing guitar on my album. So
it's exciting.
Very personal. So you can find my stuff online. You can follow the journey that it is to not only understanding myself, but everything else around me and my perspective, and chime on in, tell me what you see, and help me with my journey. Like,
absolutely.
That's really what it is.
About.
It's a collaboration. Life is a collaboration.
Life is a collaboration. Life is about connection and building relationships. And through those, opportunities are born.
Yep.
So that's what it's about, y'all. Take that into 2017.
Yeah.
We gotta close this episode out today. Stay tuned for after Nadya's Identity Files, you have Michelle's Corner with the fabulous Jessica Ross. So hang in for that show. And again, happy holidays, happy New Year, and I will see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.